fun fact, even though my dad thought that stuff, he still wrote me a note to like not be in school during Eid and didn't tell my mom about it.
Oh wow.
Because when I was studying, my mom said, I'll kick you out if you become Muslim. I'm like, okay. Finally, one day after an argument, I was like, you know what? I already converted X amount of months ago. And she's like, and the first thing she said was, don't go blowing anybody up. My friends at school all were cool about it. They're like, oh shoot, you're actually like making your own decision, both religious and non-religious. But anyway, so that day I like went to the bus stop, and then as the bus came, I walked like around the neighborhood so my mom think I went to school.
Oh.
And then I went to the one brother's house, and we all went to eat together. So that was dope. But my mom eventually saw how I like grew, and it molded me as a person. And eventually she came to accept it. She actually ended up donating to an Islamic organization, Makespace, that I used to volunteer for back in the day.
Wow.
Like and it's very weird how it happened, because I was part of like the volunteer group organizing a lot of things. I did some video editing. I helped run their sound during the prayers and whatnot. And one sister's mother made these tote bags out of these different fabrics, and wanted to sell them like $20 a piece, to raise money for Makespace at one of the halaqas. And I showed the picture to my mom, and I'm like, hey, do any of these tote bags interest you? She's like, no, I have plenty of them. And I was like, oh, okay. And then she asked me later, like a moment passed. She's like, wait, why do you ask? I said, oh, at Makespace. She knew what Makespace was, what I did for them and all that. Because I did a lot of like feeding the homeless events and this. So I guess those things would appeal to her. Ironically, she would be like, well, why can't you do that for the church? I'm like, why can't you just let me help the community the way that I like to? But, no, I said, they're from Makespace. The sister's mother making them yada yada yada, and she's like, oh, okay. Hands me some cash and says I'll buy one. And I'm like, yo,
oh wow,
what just happened right now?
All right.
Like you used to like her. She went from don't go blowing anybody up to donating money to an Islamic organization.
Wow.
How is she now?
That's good.
I mean, it doesn't really come up in conversation. Like she actually. During one Ramadan, when I was going to all the Tarawih prayers at Makespace, every night I came home late after the prayers, she'd have like bulgogi and broccoli and like different different
so
food
sweet.
waiting for me. I just pop it in the microwave, quickly eat, and then
That's really sweet.
yeah.
That is really sweet.